in Hazleton, and I brought my daughter Ashley. So here's She's campaigning with me because that's how important this election is. She thought, she wants to be involved, so she took off a month from work, and she's traveling around and she's campaigning with me, or she's campaigning with her dad. So it's nice to have her with me today. But most of all, I want to thank Dr. Lopez. Thank you so much for that introduction. I really appreciate it. But I also want to thank all of you for all that you are doing for our campaign. We simply could not do this without you. And I've been out campaigning these past few weeks, and I've seen all the energy and the enthusiasm, just like this crowd that's here today. So thank you again. And I know this election is connecting with people in a real way, because this is about people's lives. And really, it's no different for me. Even if my husband were not on the ticket, I would still be working for this campaign. And for those of you, Dr. Lopez said, I'm a teacher. I teach full-time. I teach English. As a matter of fact, early this morning before I got on the plane to come here, I was making up my midterm exam Thursday. So, and I'm sure there are some teachers here in the audience, right? Yes. For coming, because I know today's their day off, and they came to campaign, so I really appreciate it. And for those of you who are teachers, I know that, teaching isn't just what I do, it's who I am, and I'm sure you're exactly the same way. And when I thought about when I became second lady, how I would approach my role, and I said one of the things that I wanted to do was to continue to teach. So that's what I'm doing. My husband encouraged it and said, of course, you have to do what's your passion. So, and I do it because it's my students, because it's my students at the community college who inspire me every single day. So as a teacher, I want to make sure that we continue to invest in quality education. And that's why I'm so grateful that President Obama and my husband have worked so hard to move us forward on the issue of education. So much progress, and if there are any students in the crowd, college students, you know that we've doubled the funding for Pell Grants. Process to make it easier for students and parents. We've made smart investments in raising the standards for public school education, and of course we've made the community colleges a cornerstone of our education policy. Yay. Yay. And like Dr. Lopez said, I'm also a military mom, and I want to thank Dr. Bo served in Iraq for a year with the Delaware Army National Guard. And when Joe and Barack were elected, one of my greatest hopes as an American and as a mom was that we would end this war in Iraq. And Barack Obama he also brought Osama bin Laden to justice. Yeah. Responsibly ending the war in Afghanistan. Yeah. Our military families love this country and how much they've sacrificed to protect us all and keep us safe. And so I want to make sure that all of our veterans and their families get the benefits that they have earned and the respect that they deserve. as far as military families are concerned, Barack and Joe are moving this country forward. And they've taken, they expanded the GI Bill for those of you who are going back to school. They've given tax credits to businesses who hire veterans, and they've supported military families and caregivers in real ways that affect their everyday lives. I'm involved in this election as a woman, and a woman who sees the direction that this country is going to take. And I've seen how Barack and Joe stand up for the rights and the freedoms of all women. You know, the very first bill that the president signed was the Lilly Ledbetter Act.
Yep.
Fought so hard for health care reform. They made sure that, they made sure that insurance companies can no longer charge women more than they have men. They can't charge a copay for basic preventative care like, you know, prenatal care, contraception, and mammograms. And for those of you who are a little younger, you can stay on your parents' insurance until you're 26 years old. Companies can't discriminate against you if you have a pre-existing condition. That's the President and the Vice President know how important it is for women to be able to make our own decisions about our own health care. One thing is for sure, and I see several of you out there, you know, we cannot go back and refight the battles that we fought on our own. We've come far, but we have to keep moving forward. And so over these last 4 years, I'm sure you've seen just what forward really means. And it means since the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, we've seen 31 straight months of growth in the job industry. The unemployment rate go down, and now which was on the verge of collapse, is now back on its feet. And that don't ask, don't tell is now. Yes. Forward doesn't really happen on its own. We need all of you. Joe and Barack need, it's not just the two of them that are going to take us forward on November 6th. It's people like you. You all have to do it. That's right. So that's why I'm here in Pennsylvania. You know I'm a Pennsylvanian. I'm from outside of Philadelphia. We have to get people registered to vote. We only have a few hours left. So we want you to get out there. We want you, knocking on doors, calling people, working hard, because you are the ones who are going to take us forward to win on November 6th. So